Hi guys, we just wanted to welcome you to Fans of United podcast. I'm Devon McTavish with Chris Wimmer and Eric Hunsaker. We wanted to welcome you to our first ever video podcast.
All right, we're coming to you live from Fado. They told me it's pronounced.
Yes, it is pronounced.
Oh, really?
Live in Chinatown.
Yeah, I've been saying Fado. So, Chris.
Yes.
Issues. We're in game 2. 0-2.
0-2, but like a bad 0-2, right? 3-1 loss.
Is there a good 0-2?
When you get more than
that's
one shot
true.
on
No, yeah, if you get
one
some
shot
shots.
on goal. Okay, yeah,
If you look better than 0-2, then it's a good 0-2.
Right.
But they don't even look.
They look like an 0-2 team.
They
And
do.
as fans,
Yeah.
you want to see something a little better than that. Obviously, scored a goal. That's always a positive.
It's good for Nick DeLeon.
It is.
We're
It
seeing
was good.
some of what
He
he's
came in
capable
and
of, yeah.
man, I'll tell you what, he came in and I mean, what, 74th minute, and I feel like he had like 2 or 3 touches before he scored a goal.
It was a nice goal too, right? Spins it
beautiful.
around the
Sweet goal.
post.
It was
Yeah.
beautiful. It was beautiful. So
Around, I mean, totally faked the goalie.
Yeah.
You know.
he did. Just with Bender opened his hips, far post. And it
Beautiful.
Was beautiful. So I expect as a fan watching the game, maybe to see him in the starting 11 come Vancouver
I
weekend.
think maybe he earned that out of this.
Yeah, but for the other guys, I don't know.
Versus who, though? Taking whose place? Taking Andy Nahar's place?
We didn't see much out of Andy either, did we?
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't really see much out of anyone. To
A
be
little bit
honest.
of good service from Andy, but overall disappointing. Remember we were talking, I mentioned not having seen the stats from the Kansas City game, and those were released this week. And yeah, we had considerably more possession this time than we did last time. And as it felt at the game, our possession was super weak against Kansas City. We didn't need a weatherman to know which way the wind blows there, you know.
But you're right. They took a step in the right direction with possession. It just didn't really seem to be going anywhere for me.
Yeah.
It was just possession, just to keep the ball, not really to. I don't feel like we attacked the.
Yep, still
LA
lack
defense.
of chemistry. It's almost like there's too many options. They don't know who the one person is to go to, right?
It is,
Who are they
yeah.
running the offense through? I mean, obviously it should be the MVP, De Rosario, but he's been invisible, MIA. Like, where has he been? You know?
Yeah.
He's
No
just-
shots, no
he's
goals.
warming up.
Oh, well, all right. I
It's
hope
a
he's
long
warm,
year.
man.
It's a long year.
I guess, but I mean, maybe not any goals, but you want to see him getting in the flow of the game, creating stuff, creating plays, getting other people involved, and I just forget sometimes he's even out there. You know, you kind of lose track of him.
He is.
In the 3-1 loss to LA, Keane looked more like an MVP than Dero. You know,
He looked good. He
putting
looked good.
pressure, getting the brace, and continuing even after that to put pressure on, take shots.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was just dangerous the whole day.
Take this opportunity to mention that without Joe Willis there, the score would have been a heck of a lot higher.
Right.
Joe
He
Willis
did.
did a remarkable job stopping stuff.
He did it. Yeah, he really did. I mean, all crosses, I thought he was good, and they whipped in a lot of crosses.
They did, and I think that probably he held up a lot more than he should have had to. You know what I mean?
You're right.
So as bad as they've looked the first 2 games, you have to wonder if their 2 keepers weren't having amazing games. It could have been even uglier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
Hamid with the great save on the header, Willis with the low shot deflects it wide for the goal of the save of the week nomination, and just like these guys are having amazing games, and still 3-1, 0-1, like.
Yeah, it was not good. You know, for me, it was. I guess we probably all read that Ben stressed. It didn't. The fight wasn't there. The passion wasn't there. For Ben, that's the number one key. And I mean, if you watched LA, they played 4 games in 12 days, and they were flying. I mean, Beckham was everywhere. Beckham was what, 30, 36, 37?
Keane's not young either.
Yeah,
but these
they're
guys
around.
they outclassed United.
They did.
Just
They
looked,
did.
They
And
beat
just-
them to the ball. They're moving the ball around, and they just look great. You know?
Yeah.
Well, we kind of talked about them coming out hungry this time, playing like a team that was angry, and they sure did.
And they did.
They were on fire. They also started what I thought was their strongest 11.
Yeah, a lot of people expected they wouldn't do that.
It's a good 11.
Front loaded.
Yeah.
It is
it's
a good
scary
11.
11. I mean,
It is.
And again, to me, it seems to me like with DC United, there's a hole in the middle of the midfield. You know, there's like we seem to lose possession in the middle of the midfield. You know,
Yeah.
and you can't win games like that. That's
No.
not
It's
championship
funny
form.
because going into the season, in preseason, I remember saying, doesn't it look like we have too many midfielders? And Devin said, can you ever have enough midfielders?
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking, could we just have a couple good, solid midfielders, quality play?
I think we have good
right
quality. I think we have quality. It's just they're not producing.
I think we have amazing roster,
Yeah.
but they're like, they're still warming. They're still in their preseason or something. You know?
Yeah, I know. I know. And I mean,
What's going on?
You have to get that win at home. It's obvious. LA is going to be a tough game no matter what. You know, and you just gotta. There's too many instances for me as a player seeing other players chop down I saw Beckham, I forget who it was, chopped King down, I think it was.
Nice
And,
right in the leg.
and no one gets in his face, no one does anything,
Yeah,
you know, it's just, there's...
No difference.
Yeah, and, you know, someone gets up, and I think someone took Beckham down, and the whole team's around,
Yeah.
Right.
you know, Beckham and pushing United players, and that's something that, you know, once you get to play with each other, you obviously learn that who the players are going to be step in there and try to you know, respect the other, you know, try to get respect from other players and other.
Yeah.
And, the officiating's poor. I wish that we could blame it on the officiating and say that it was a close game, minus one or two calls. I mean, obviously, do you deserve a yellow card for cleating somebody? Of course, you know. Yeah, he's Beckham, but it's a yellow card. We're not saying throw him out of the game, but you got to let him know. And then, like Devin says, you know, you've got to step up. And they don't show any fight when someone gets taken down, and that's a pretty dirty tackle.
It is,
and to just kind of jog back and get in position and oh well.
Right.
That's definitely not what Ben Olsen is looking for.
No, that's not who Ben Olsen is.
That's not going to take you to the playoffs for the first time in 5 seasons either, you know.
Yeah, well, I'm not ready to throw out the Benny with the bathwater.
Right. No. But as a team, though, if you think going into the season that this is a playoff team, you have to show that from the get-go. And right now, they just don't have any life, no spark, no chemistry.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah, I get that.
Well, we got 2 DPs sitting on the bench too.
Yeah.
So the next thing is what's going on with these roster decisions. You got De Leon, who scored the only goal in the game, and he's the only shot on goal.
Yeah.
And they drafted him, you know, they talked highly of him, and the first game comes, he's not even a bench player, he's a non-roster, you know, they introduce him, but he's not even an option, and now here he's the only guy that can score a goal for them. That's, and hopefully he does get some more playing time because of that.
he certainly earned it in his 15, 20 minutes of play, didn't he? You know, we don't know what goes on during the week, we don't know if the guys get bumps and bruises throughout training, or if falling out of favor with Benny for whatever reason, you don't know what happens. So, you know, we have to take it for what it's worth. The starting 11 is who Ben thinks is the best on the field at the time, and if that means 2 DPs are sitting on the bench, then it is what it is. You know? And these guys are professionals. I think Bronco came on and he worked hard. He didn't really create anything. Didn't really find his feet so much, but Sahili, you're going to want to see him as a fan to be in the 11 next game.
Yeah. And while he's in creating, astonishing chances. I mean, on this roster we've got an MVP, a league MVP, and we've got 2 designated players. And out of those, you feel like there's going to be a leader on the field. It's going to kind of remember how Jaime Moreno, to a fan, he used to sort of orchestrate things out there. He's kind of like conducting a little bit,
pointing where.
Even as he got older and he wasn't as fast, he could still hold the ball and then run the offense. Facing back to the goal, still directing, giving the ball to midfielders, and that, and then the midfielders back then looked great.
And somebody like being a team leader saying, hey guys, here's what we're gonna try and do. Let's do this and push it this way. And the symbols, and Jaime used to whistle all the time. And that was great. And I agree with Devin that probably, we've got blinders on because we don't know who's doing what in training throughout the week, and one must assume that the starting 11 reflects the degree of commitment during training and the degree of skill shown during training.
Right. Well, I said jokingly at the first game, I wonder if Salihi was taken out because of that poor play, and then you think, well, of course, MLS coaches are going to just react like that. Well, maybe that was why. Maybe he didn't like what he saw because he didn't get any minutes at all in the second game.
But that wasn't by design. I mean, you're going to talk about it. But I do think that there was a conscious effort to let him sit and watch for a little bit and get more fired up, to see if you could, get the level of play out of him that we all expect.
The blame is so much on the players as it is Olsen picking the roster, right? I mean, if the guy's a designated player, that's no guarantee. You still got to play good. You got to earn that money. You got to do what they brought you in to do, which is score goals, create chances, and you'd like to see the designated players on the field, but if they're not, they need to step it up.
Yeah, absolutely. So it doesn't get any easier from here either, does it?
No,
Going up to Vancouver.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's like totally revamped team.
Yeah, it is.
Unbelievable playing atmosphere up there. I mean, it's tough to get a result in Vancouver.
Those guys are on fire.
Yeah.
And
they have another guy that's angry, right? Latu, basically thrown in the scrap heap from Philly, comes out, scores a goal the first time. Kind of like the LA attitude.
And it's funny
that you target him as that, because to me, the permanent angry guy is Hasley.
The big friend.
He scares me. He's one of those players who just scares me.
He's a giant.
When we're going up against him, I tense up.
Yeah. Well, then you got Demerit also, right? Who came
Right,
over
Jay
last
Demerit
year.
on
It
the
was like
back
a big
line.
deal, but he
Number
kind of had
6.
injuries, and you didn't hear much about him. All of a sudden, gets a game winner.
Yeah.
And he's showing what people thought he could do coming from Champions League. Like
Yeah.
that guy can play, you know. And then when he's healthy, to score from the back. We don't even have forwards that are scoring. They got defenders that are putting the ball in it. So they're very dangerous.
It's a good team this year.
Yeah,
they are.
And we're, United's on the road.
Yeah.
It's
And
not easy to do.
Canada has the
Canadian,
crowd, you know.
yeah.
Those guys, man.
That's
it doesn't
baby
even
Europe
matter
up
what
there.
game.
Come on, let's be honest.
It
Right?
is.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
The CONCACAF Champions League. Wow, what they have like 50,000?
Yeah. Sold it out.
I mean, that's
Well,
crazy.
I mean, Montreal, they had 56 this past week.
Yeah.
Wow. Canadians love their soccer.
Yeah, they do. It's baby
The
Europe.
national
up
team
there.
needs to catch up, but the Canadians love their soccer.
They've got the fan support.
They certainly
They've
do.
got the infrastructure behind the fan support as well. A lot of people, some nice stadiums up there,
Mm-hmm.
and that's going to create a difficult environment for DC United to walk into and perform well. It would have been really nice to at least be coming out of Los Angeles with a draw,
With a point.
Right.
or something other than a loss, because you know that's got to weigh heavy on the team. Because now you're in this position where nobody wants to begin the season with 3 strikes. Because I saw somebody's blog post this week, Chris Wimmer, who's already talking about is Ben Olsen in trouble with the front office, and I imagine a coach's job is always on the line, sort of. No one talks about it while you're winning. No one's talking about it if you're taking the team to the finals and to the postseason. But going 0-3,
It's just it's another
they bring
year
a lot of
bad
attention
start,
to
you
them.
know?
yeah, a lot of negative attention.
I mean, 0-3 is tough to recover from, and you have to have a phenomenal team and to get back from that. But I mean, having said that, it's not impossible to recover from. But going into this game, Benny is stressing the importance of at least a tie. He's probably stretching 3 points.
Yeah.
He wants to move. I mean, the Eastern Conference is
That's a huge difference right
terrible
now,
right now. So
Yeah.
3
Picking
points
up a
would be,
win.
yeah, absolutely put you right back in the mix.
Yeah, it's alarming. I worry about Ben. Not on a personal level, but on a professional level.
Right.
He's carrying a lot of weight during this whole thing. And I heard another podcast saying that while they were broadcasting, he was shooting him a dirty look, and I was like, you know what? It's not just us. It's that's a lot of weight to carry.
Right.
Guy.
I think Stephen Davis did a preseason interview, and he said that even in the preseason, Ben is usually more jovial,
Yeah.
more relaxed, kind of confident guy.
Yeah.
And even then, he saw the the nerves and the pressure. So maybe he knows something we don't know. I mean, you only get a hometown discount for so long, right?
Right.
I mean, he's the
Yeah.
youngest coach that
Yep.
MLS
In
ever
the
had.
MLS. Yep.
And he was a fan favorite, but I started to look back, and his record's just not that good. It's 25% of the game.
Has he had a good team?
He hasn't had a good team, but sometimes
But now he
if
does,
something needs to
you know.
change, I mean, you can't get rid of the whole team, so
Yeah.
you make the changes where it makes sense, and usually the coach is the first to go, if it's deserved or not. You know?
Yeah. Right.
You got to show the fans, you have to show the team, you got to shake it up sometimes, and if this slide continues, then you hate to see him go because people do like him, but
It's
business,
willing to
you
fire
gotta
Tommy
win.
Sohn. I mean,
Right.
that.
Yeah. Well, I
gotta speak volumes.
I guarantee that he's more worried, or he's more frustrated by it than us as fans.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
He's staying up at night trying to figure out what's going on. So,
Yeah.
I believe in him.
I do too. I do too. And you know what? Charlie Beam, said something last week that I thought was really poignant. He said, one of the worst things about the situation is that if this crushes the brilliant and beautiful soul that is Ben Olsen, someone should be answerable for that. He's damn right. And then a little while later, he said, look, if anybody can pull this out, it's Ben. And, even though I'm a journalist, I'm supposed to remain objective. I think he can.
Yeah.
I'm pulling for him. So
Yeah.
if anybody can
We
do
all
it,
are.
yeah.
And I think
absolutely.
that last point is why they hired him to begin with, right? Because they knew they didn't have the best team,
Yeah.
and maybe they didn't have the best roster. So someone with his personality,
Yeah.
could get the best from his team. So we'll see. I mean, they're professionals on this team. It's not all rookies, not young guys.
Yeah.
So there's definitely pieces to work with. It's just up to the players to.
There's that phrase, ability to inspire confidence. You know what I mean? And hopefully that's something he's got and we'll be able to apply to the team.
They need to start believing in it.
Yeah.
The players too.
It's about time for the stew to start coming together.
Right.
And for the bones to start to knit,
Yeah.
And something soon.
Yeah.
So 2 Western.
Testing our
conference-
patience here.
Yeah,
Right.
a little bit. But you know what? Hey, 34 game season. We're 2 games in. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's a process, not an event.
Right. You don't want to get too far behind, but you're still, only a few games in. So
Yeah.
Right.
if you're gonna have a rough patch. I'd rather have it now than stressful at the end of the season.
You know what? You make a good point. Hey, I want to mention one thing. You know, the fact that we're broadcasting live gives us the ability to take calls while we're broadcasting. And this is kind of crazy. Hold on, if I got this right,
I don't know what's going on.
Looks like there's a call coming in right now. Hang on, let me take this. Hello?
Eric,
Yes.
it's your mother.
Oh, hi, Mom. How are you?
What are you wearing? Are you aware that people can see you?
It's a polo shirt, Mom. I'm in the creative field.
Ow, ow.
I thought it
In
looked
my
good.
day, gentlemen wore a tie and sometimes a jacket.
Yes, I know. You know, when I worked with Steven Spielberg, he wore a T-shirt.
Oh, here we go with the name dropping.
Okay, thanks. Mom, it's the soccer show?
Okay, fine. How could you
does
predict
this
that
all the
LA would give us a tie in our Home Depot Center?
I thought we could get a tie at Home Depot Center,
Bruce
Mom.
Arena is not going to let that happen.
Well, because, you know, the
Are
team
you
started
aware
gel.
of a gentleman named David Beckham? This young man can put the ball on the head
I'm aware of
of
Beckham.
an attacker while he's making a run diagonally in the 18-yard box.
Service from the from the midfield.
What
Yes.
do I know? I'm just your mother.
Okay. Well, thanks, Mom. I love you.
All right, goodbye.
Goodbye.
She
Might
knows
have
her
to
stuff.
get a
knows
call
her stuff.
screener.
She does.
So anyway, yeah, she makes a point. I did predict a tie, and I was wrong.
Yes, I was too.
That's the benefit of being
Disappointing.
vague, right? I didn't
Yeah,
predict anything, so
You sent a
Yeah,
point
there
from
you go.
somewhere.
can't be wrong.
Yeah.
That the clouds would open and the
So
gods
still
would
a
hand us a point
chance,
from
you know?
somewhere.
It has to
Of
be.
course, I meant Vancouver, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So to wrap up the schedule, they got two Western Conference foes. They're coming back. NBC, FC Dallas is just
Yeah.
scoring at will right now, but they don't have Brett Shea. So
Yeah, he's good up there.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, they're dangerous.
He's created a lot of havoc for them in the first couple of games.
Yeah, yeah.
And some good goals too that they've created. You know, they're just dangerous. And granted, we'll have them at home.
Yep.
You know, if we can get something in Vancouver, that'll maybe build some confidence for the boys. And coming back to RFK is fans are going to be there. Benny's going to get the boys riled up again because we have to get results at
need
RFK
these
this year.
supporters groups
Yeah.
to show up and
So-
show up in
Oh, they
force,
will.
you
This is
know?
a national broadcast.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be a big deal for us.
Maybe it's the first sellout since they did the
Since
new
they-
lease, right? Let's hope so. But
When does
that's
that go into effect? Is that?
Yeah, what is that?
that's a good question. I don't know if that detail was on there, but if they extended it, maybe it's immediate. I don't know.
What's it about 20,000, right? 19?
19.6, yeah. Basically cut off the upper bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see if they're going to have any advertisements up there too.
That's the
since it
idea,
is-
isn't it?
They talked about putting ads up there, and if you're going to do a nationally
I
televised
think
game,
it's Fans United, I think, is what they're going to put
Oh,
up there.
Yeah,
Nice,
Fans of
nice.
United.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we talked about
fansofunited.com.
maybe your mom can
Yeah.
sew a big,
Yeah. I'll ask her if she can
A
get
gigantic
right
flag,
on that. Yeah,
right?
she'll do her old best Betsy Ross.
like a Super Bowl
Situation going
American
on there.
flag, couple hundred guys holding it.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
you
Tifo. Mom's all about the Tifo. Go ahead.
All right. Well, Breck Shea's away at the with the Olympic team, and so is Perry Kitchen, who just was named what is he, vice captain.
Well, what's a vice captain?
Vice
Can
captain?
we talk about this?
I don't
Is
know.
there not one captain on the field?
This is the
Well,
first
maybe they're
I've
gonna
heard
both
of
be
this.
wearing the
This isn't
armband,
hockey
you know?
where you get a C and you get an A.
Like a
There's only one
three-legged
armband
race.
on the
You
field.
both have the armband. You know,
That's
I
what
put on my
it-
right arm, you
I
put on
don't
your
get
left.
I don't get that.
Does
What's
it
a
only
vice
come
captain?
into play if the captain goes down or is thrown out?
He's like a backup captain.
I
is that what he
guess
is?
I don't
Well,
know.
see,
Maybe
I
they
see
want to
what-
have two people go up there for the coin flip, like I do with
It's
my
like-
little girls. You know?
And they're like,
Yeah.
is it intimidating? Is it intimidating 2 against 1 for the coin flip?
I don't
understand.
I don't know. Good, you bring up a good point. I've never seen that before. And now, you know, when we're watching the European leagues, the guy is coming out, he takes off the armband
Right.
and physically
Right.
tosses it to the next guy.
Yeah. Yeah, so, well, congrats. I mean, that's great.
Yeah, I
Vice,
mean,
Vice is better than
it is his college coach,
Secretary
right?
of State. or
That's
whatever,
nice.
I don't know.
Yeah.
One other thing in DC United news, I just read Will Chang spoke to the Washington Post. Did you see what he had to say about the
No, I
0-2
missed
Gets
that.
start?
everyone.
I missed that.
Goff gets everyone, doesn't
He
he?
does,
Yeah.
man.
I like Goff.
He's a DP.
Yeah. That's why he's the insider. His
He
accent.
is.
Yeah.
He lives up to that title for
Yeah.
sure. But Will Chang said that he's absolutely behind this team. I believe in this team, and once we read each other and come together, we're gonna be a good team. And
Okay, what else is he going to say?
I know,
What else is he going
right?
to say? Things aren't working, it's clear. it's
yeah,
obvious.
everybody's job's on the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's 2 games in.
Nobody
When
else-
is that gonna be? That magic moment when the chemistry does click? You know.
I think it's Vancouver, but I mean,
I hope so.
no, I have a really good feeling for this one.
All right.
They
Well,
got
put it all on the
got-
line now.
they
Double
got-
down.
They got some good training out in LA.
Yeah,
Enjoy.
they did. Well,
Maybe it's
hopefully,
good to be away from home while this happens, you know?
I hope that we're now where LA was last week. You know what? We've been stomped twice. We're mad as hell. We're not going to take it anymore. You know, and we're going to have to show what we're made of. We're going to have to do it on the road.
Yeah.
You know, it's fire that makes steel stronger, not Jello. That's another thing. Is that the first 2 games we played, those were hard teams. You know, we're not going up against.
teams.
You know, nothing. No disrespect to expansion, but we're not going up against like the Montreal Impact or some other teams who.
Right.
You know, we're front loaded with difficult play early on. And you know, that's a big test for any team, but especially a team with so many people playing together for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
you
think
can't
that's a
say that
legitimate
DC was supposed to beat LA. So if you're looking at the schedule and you're projecting wins and losses, that's even though the LA was slumping, that's not a win or a loss. You know, you're not going to project that as an obvious win,
Yeah.
right? So, and Kansas City, they're strong. You know,
They're a
they
good
get
team.
together, the young guys.
They are.
They lost the games. Now I'm playing devil's advocate to what I've been saying before, but I mean, they are 2 losses, but they're not 2 losses of games that you see that you should have won.
No,
Right.
yeah.
Teams you should have beat. That would be, I guess, the nail in the coffin right now if you were losing to teams that you should be beating.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
not that these teams are, but you know, it's a rough schedule to start off the season for sure.
Yeah, it is. It is. But get them out of the way.
Yeah.
Get them out of the way.
Well, it's quick trial by fire, you know, to begin the season.
Right.
We don't need to play LA anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll take that loss. But again, they have to respond to Vancouver. I mean, there's a challenge. Benny's going to throw a challenge on to him, and he's going to say, if I don't get what I want, big changes are going to be made whether it's on the field or whatever.
Yeah, right.
And it doesn't matter if it's on the road. That's the least of his worries playing in front of Vancouver's crowd. It's just a matter of getting points.
Do you go with De Leon? Do you try to put him in somewhere and ride the hot hand, get another goal?
Dude, De Leon,
Yeah,
I think he probably earned a start.
I think he
because
did.
goal scorers score in bunches, you know. So
I mean, he's going to be. It's a good place for him to get started
Yeah,
too.
right,
I mean, he came in, he played 20 minutes, scored a goal in LA.
Yeah.
Why not throw him in
Yeah.
Vancouver?
Right.
You know, what does he have to lose?
Yeah.
You know what he's capable of. If he has a bad game, that's all right. He comes back home. It's no big deal. So
I think he gets that reward just for having the only goal of the season so far. But I don't want to skip the back line. I think
Okay.
I think Emiliano Dudar is going to be back there. I think it's going to be.
he did finally play 45
Yeah,
he did,
minutes.
yeah.
And I think you can have Robbie Russell and will it be Robbie and Brandon?
Yeah, no, it'll be, yeah.
Because they're both rights on
Russell on the right.
Yeah.
McDonald, Dudar.
Yeah.
And I don't know, left back. I don't know what happened to Woolard. I mean,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll go Woolard, the left back. But yeah, I don't think Corb had a bad game.
Right.
No.
Well, they're probably just going to keep switching around until they get a nice fit, you know, until they feel completely comfortable with the back line back there. Giving up 3 goals, there's room to make changes, you know.
Right, right.
The other thing about Dudar, it's nice to have a big presence back there against Hosley.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
that guy is huge
I
and
know.
he can get on the ball and he
Intimidating.
just camps out
Yeah.
in the box when he
He
can.
does.
And so you have another big guy to challenge him on,
Need a
especially on set
physical
pieces where
presence.
DC is very, very, you know,
Seemingly
susceptible.
vulnerable right
yeah,
now.
right now, you know. They're not the best right now, so to get a big guy and try to at least keep a body on him. you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And
You
it's
can
good to
box
see
him
him
out.
playing. So the questions about if his health are a problem. I mean, he got 45 minutes, so maybe he just wasn't ready yet. You know, maybe
Yeah.
fitness was the issue, not health. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, it seemed Jakovic went down with a bit of a groin. Right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean, he came in to replace him. I thought he should have scored a goal, frankly.
Yeah.
He chested the ball down in the sixth.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
a bit unlucky not to do it, but I mean, you're talking about providing size in the back, but I mean, even going forward,
Yeah.
you know, on set pieces.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing. I thought Andy did a good job on set pieces for the
Yeah.
most part.
Yeah.
He's a young guy; he can still, you know, improve upon that. But
All right, so you
But-
got like a lot of changes in the midfield then, basically, right?
Yeah.
So is Stephen King going to start this time? He had a good game coming off the bench.
King's a solid player. They know what you're gonna get out of him. You know, he both sides of the ball. He works his tail off, and
Yeah.
he gets forward. And
Creates a real dead zone for the other team.
He's
Got that silver bullet.
But I think they might go with Boskovic. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and,
my-
and
that's my
Dero
guess.
also, right?
you have to keep Dero on the field.
Got it.
Right, you got it.
He's
Take
MVP.
him off.
Yeah.
I mean, you
And-
got to let him get some touches, and hopefully he snaps out of it.
And
He will.
DP's situation, Hamdi Salehi starts again. Yeah.
Does he? I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see how training goes in LA.
Yeah, maybe they hold him out one more. I don't know.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, I would be surprised, but then I wouldn't be surprised right now. Everything is
Can we
up in the air.
can we think about his replacement? Like
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm respecting all players, but Mike Santos, how many shots has he had? Like
Yeah, missed them all.
he did,
Yeah,
and they
missed them all.
hit like the 10th run.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't really like that close. I'm not trying to bash
Yeah.
him. I mean,
No,
I
you're
thought he
right.
worked his tail off. I
Right.
thought he actually, I feel like he held the ball up pretty well. But when it came to decision making in the final third, wasn't really.
And finishing camp, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the shots are fine as long as they're on target or close to target.
have-
But if you're just all over the place, you're just wasting
He-
opportunities
yeah,
that
he
are few and
hasn't-
far
yeah.
between
Yeah,
right
He
now.
hasn't
giving up
even
possession.
really
Right.
tested the keeper too
So
much.
maybe you're right. Maybe Salehi comes back in, you know. And also Santos, he kind of was like doing a lot of stupid fouls. I noticed, you know, lots of grabbing, lots of pushing, just I mean, useless stuff, you know, not where he needed to be spending his energy. I thought.
Yeah,
So,
obviously he's coming back from injury. I think he had a good showing in the first game. I think this game he seemed really conservative to me. Every time he got the ball in a position to take someone 1v1, always kind of just pulled it back and pass it and try to keep possession, which isn't necessarily, you know, every
A bad
situation
thing,
is
yeah.
different. It's not necessarily a
Yeah.
bad thing. Keeping possession is good, but Panis is that player that when he gets the ball in the final third, you want him to go at the defender and test the defender.
Yeah.
And for me, he didn't really do that. And then De Leon comes on and scores a goal, so he has to start right. So maybe Panis on the right, with, or I don't know. Danny Cruz can come in too.
yeah, he
I'm
brings a
thinking
lot of
Danny-
energy, and they
I'm
need
not
that right
answering your
now.
question.
Yeah, I'm not either.
No.
But the more I
I'll
think
go
about other
Panis.
people,
I'll go Panis on the right, De Leon on the left.
Yeah.
up top.
No.
Oh, in the middle.
midfield,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Wingers.
Well, who's
Yeah.
up top still with Salehi?
D-Row sitting in behind. I haven't been right yet, have I?
Yeah, you've been right on a bunch of
Hey,
stuff.
you're bound to be right
And
eventually,
then I
right?
thought Saragossa I thought he had a good game. You
Yeah.
know? He broke up some plays and you know, kept the ball moving.
I didn't see the first half. I saw the second half. It took me a while to find an illegal satellite feed that was in English. I found a great Arabic one.
Right.
But,
I learned some Spanish words.
Like I said, hard to believe you can't get the game on TV against the defending champions.
it is hard
Right?
to believe that.
You got
And-
MVP and the champions, and you have to find it on a third-rate
Yeah,
station.
can I say one brief thing? Is that I've got Apple TV now. Okay, Apple TV is a little,
Nice.
little tiny box, $99. It gives me the fun ability to control my big screen TV with my iPhone. But there's also a lot of programming in there, and so I was going through the programming. Major League Baseball has a little channel. NHL's got a little channel, and the NBA had a channel. You know
So
who
you're
needs a
missing
channel?
You're missing a sport.
Yeah, you know who needs a channel, and you know who needs to not play catch-up in the digital game is Major League Soccer. We've got to come out as a 21st century force. I would love to see them on Apple TV.
They probably want you to buy the Match Day, which is on iTunes.
You know, even if it's not strictly games, it could be highlights, it could be recaps, it could be backstories. It could be guys like us pontificating, you know, in different cities about what the particular chances are, breaking down what last week's games are.
Right.
It'd just be nice to have something there. I hate to see.
You want me to write a letter to Apple or to Major League Soccer? Which
No,
one
it's
you want?
it would
I'll
be
write a
to
letter.
the Commissioner Don.
Okay.
Commissioner Don,
Dear
and
Don.
also the head of digital development. Who's that guy? He's been
Chris,
Slosher.
yeah, Chris, yeah.
Shout out Chris Slosher. Call me.
All right, well, maybe they'll get that fixed
Strongly
by next
worded
week.
letter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now what else did you want to talk about, Chris? Something big happened?
Congratulate the jersey winner. The jersey was provided by Soccer Post DC.
Soccer Post
in
DC.
Chantilly.
Ooh,
The
shout
winner
out.
was none other than Rene Guzman again, right?
Wow, small world.
Yeah,
Huh,
and he
how about
won
that?
another jersey for winning the video contest
Awesome.
from
Awesome.
MLS Reserve. So he had a great week. He won 2 times in 1 week, so at least somebody associated with
You know
it.
what?
Is Guzman Irish? Is
I
that
don't
why it
know.
was? It's bad as they make it.
You know, he put out a lot of effort for that, so, you know.
Yeah, it's great.
Let it show that effort be rewarded. Good job, Renee.
And the fans too for supporting it and voting
Yeah.
for it, you know.
It was pretty cool seeing that up on the big screen. I gotta say this
was.
again. And thanks to Soccer Post DC for giving us that jersey to give away. That helps keep the fan base energized,
Right.
gets engagement going. So thank you, Soccer Post DC, for that.
Yeah.
They're in a little store near us in Greenbrier. I went by the other day. I had to peek in the window because it was after hours, but they got a lot of good gear in there. A lot of pro jerseys, pro gear.
Great.
Yeah, I know that.
Appreciate John's help over there.
Wanted to shout out to Fido too for allowing us to. Fido.
Right on.
I always call
Fido.
it Fido.
Okay.
I live in the area.
All right.
I feel like I'm a local. I feel like I can do
I
that.
feel like you can call it what you want.
Yeah.
And besides, you're a McTavish. I mean, look right behind you. There's a McDevitt, there's a Mitchells, there's a...
Yeah.
And I want to do a little thing here. I don't know if you guys can see my shirt here, Hayden's Goal. So what we're going to do for every video podcast that we do, you guys send me in a shirt with some organization that helps people, players in need. So what Hayden's Goal is, it's a kid from Winchester, Virginia.
Perfect.
Hayden Elliott was a kid from Winchester, Virginia, my hometown, and I think 3 or 4 years ago he was just out practicing with his team. one spring afternoon, and a goal just happened to fall on him. The wind blew it over and fell on him, and unfortunately he passed away. So in his name, Hayden's goal started to spread soccer goal awareness in terms of locking them down and making sure that nothing like that can happen to anyone else. So if you guys have an organization that you're interested in and you have a t-shirt, please send it to me. I'll wear it on the podcast, and
Great.
We can get the word out for you.
And hopefully my mom won't berate you for not wearing a shirt without a collar on.
Yeah, we'll work on getting maybe somebody out there wants to volunteer to be a call screener. So
That'd be great. Good idea. Yeah. But you know what? Goal safety is super important. And as a youth coach, that's something I'm always telling kids. Don't hang on the goals. Don't touch the goals. Put the ball in the goal. That's what you need to do. So I appreciate you bringing that up.
United needs to do too. So.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Hopefully somebody will send some stuff.
So you got
maybe we'll have more than one and we can choose.
Got more shout-outs?
Yeah, well, I just thank you for everybody following us on Twitter at Fans of United. We've been slowly growing on Twitter. Our podcast is now on iTunes, so hopefully more people are downloading that. The downloads will be going up. And the stats are looking good, so just looking for more interaction from everybody online.
Yeah,
that's it. Thanks to all the fans. That's the biggest shout out.
My last shout out goes to the SYA U9 Girls Cardinal White for taking the St. Patty's Day tournament.
Nice. They winning an amazing trophy.
Yes.
Couple feet tall.
And going into overtime. Good job, girls. Good job. We're very proud of you.
Showed a lot of heart, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of hard work.
Good.
Yeah.
All
right, so we'll see everybody next week. Thanks so much.
I think the next episode we'll have Connor Shinosky on with us next Monday. Yeah.
Awesome.
We'll be checking in with him down in Fort Lauderdale, seeing how he's doing.
Excellent.
Cool. Sounds
cool.
Good deal. Okay, that's a wrap.
Yeah.